Finding out I was pregnant at only 3 weeks. Listen, it was I was excited to find out that early, to be honest, but it was a little bit of a roller coaster because I didn't know what was going on at the time. So before I get into it, this might be a little bit TMI for some people, but if you are interested in knowing how I found out I was pregnant at 3 weeks pregnant, then keep watching. Okay, so first things first, let me see, where do I begin? One time, I love cheese, right? So one time my husband cooked some pasta with like cheese and I don't know what you call it, but it was some type of pasta with like cheese and meat and, you know, like ground beef and stuff like that. And he know that I love cheese. He doesn't really like cheese, but because I love it, he put so much mozzarella cheese in the pasta, and it wasn't even like the shredded packet cheese. No, it was a real block mozzarella cheese, like, so it was super duper cheesy. So much cheese. Okay, I enjoyed it. I had a big plate. I think I even went in for seconds. Like, I had a lot. Okay, and the next day I noticed that I wasn't going off. Like I said, this video might have a lot of TMI in it, but I was constipated for a couple days after, like 2 days after, and I was like, wait, this is not right. Like, this is not normal. This does not happen to me. If anything, I'll get diarrhea, but not constipation. So I'm telling him, I'm like, you know what, I think that the pasta that you made, it had too much cheese and it constipated me, and right now I'm not feeling well. Like, I just need to go. I feel like I want to go, but when I sit on the toilet, like, nothing's happening, and I'm just getting so frustrated. And that was like around 2 weeks something, so I'm not thinking anything of it. Plus, I never knew that constipation was a part of pregnancy. Like, I never knew that. I mean, I was pregnant twice before, but it was only for like 4 weeks and 6 weeks, so I didn't really experience anything, to be honest. But I've never heard anybody talk about that. Like, have you ever heard anybody talk about that? Have you ever went through that before? Leave it in the comment section down below, because I'm confused. Anyway, I was constipated, and I think I waited like 3 or 4 days, and I was like, you know what, I can't do this no more. I told my mom about it because I talk to my mom every day. That's like my best friend, talking to her every day. Anything that happens, I call my mom. So I was telling her, like, look, I'm constipated, blah blah blah, I haven't gone off. So she was like, oh, I'll get one of those what do you call it, I'll put it up on the screen or something, because I don't remember what they call it. Some C word, not citrate, I don't know. Anyway, I'll put it up on the screen. So she told me, get that and use it. So I was like, all right. I think I've used it once before, but it was like years ago. And she told me use it, and then she mentioned, she was like, you sure you're not pregnant? So I'm like, pregnant? I'm like, no, like, my period just ended, and no, I don't, I don't think so. Like, I'm constipated. What are you talking about? Like, let's stay on track here. Let's focus on the matter at hand. That's what I'm talking about. Constipation. I'm constipated. She said that. I went to the pharmacy, got what she asked, what she told me to get, and I was like, okay, I'll take that. And then in the back of my mind, I'm keep thinking, like, why did she even say that? Why did she say, why did she mention pregnancy? Like, that makes no sense. And mind you, I have a pretty regular period. Like, my cycle is regular. Even with the fibroids, when I had the fibroids, I never had any complications, and that was one of my fears, because I never had any complications even with the fibroids. Like, no pain, no swelling of the tummy, no irregular periods or heavy periods. My periods was normal and regular. Okay, and I have an app. It's a really good app. My period literally come the exact day that the app said it's gonna come. Every single month it comes on that, whatever day they say it's gonna come, that's the day it comes. Very rare, like once in a while I may get it like one day before or one day after, and that's just in a blue moon, like once in a blue moon. But anyway, it's pretty regular apart from that. So like I said, my period wasn't expected until like about a week or so, like when I was, from the time I was constipated. So I'm thinking to myself, like, why did she mention that? Why did she even mention constipation? I mean, sorry, why did she even mention pregnancy? And so one day I told my husband, I was like, you know, when I told mommy I was constipated, she asked me if I'm sure I'm not pregnant. And he was like, well, you know, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, huh? Like, okay, like, so why didn't you mention that you was thinking this? Like, and why would you think this? I'm constipated. Like, nobody's getting what I'm saying right now. I'm constipated. What does that have to do with being pregnant? Like I said, I never ever knew that was a part of pregnancy that used to happen. Like, I never knew that. I thought, well, maybe I'll start feeling sick, or I wanted to throw up, or, you know, like the regular things that you always hear. But constipation was not one of them. I was not looking for that. So when he said that, I was like, okay. And then I remembered, I was like, it's like, that was the end of the conversation. But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, why does everybody keep saying, well, not everybody, but, you know, why do they keep saying maybe I might be pregnant? Like, I don't feel pregnant. I feel constipated. That's what I am, because I haven't gone off. Mind you, I took the stuff that she told me to take, and, you know, I went off. No, actually it worked for one day. For one time, I think I went off one time, never again. I'm like, wait, isn't it supposed to make me go off, like make me have kind of like diarrhea type of thing, like all these days, and I just went off once? Like, what's going on? So I went right back to being constipated. Like, it's like it worked, but it didn't work at the same time, because I was still constipated. So I was like, what the hell is going on? So anyway, fast forward, one Thursday morning, I was getting ready for live, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, am I pregnant? And my heart started racing, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm doing my makeup, getting ready for live, and I can't focus. I just can't focus. So I had 2 pregnancy tests there, some of the clear blue ones that says pregnant, not pregnant. I had 2 of those there that I had from 2020. So it was like a couple months I had it there, just packed up. I got the 3-pack from Walmart, so I had 2 remaining, and it was just there. So I was like, let me just try and take it. I was like, let me check to see when my period is you know, is expected. And I think it was in the next few days or something like that, like maybe 4 or 5 days. I was like, okay, I think it's safe for me to take it, because it says that it can tell you, I think 6 days prior or something like that, to when your period has to come. So I'm like, all right, perfect. So that was early in the morning. Like I told you guys, I was getting ready for a live one Thursday, and I went to the bathroom, took the first test. It's a helicopter if you guys are hearing it. So I took the first test, and it had like some type of error or something. So I was like, you see, I knew it, that the test is old. Like, I've had it for months, and it was just in the drawer. Like, it's probably old. So I was gonna forget about it, but you know, it's on my mind. When something's on your mind and you want to know, you will just figure it out some way or the other, right? So I went in and I said, let me take the next one. Took the next one. Within no time, the thing said positive. And to be honest, when I saw that, I was confused, first of all, because there was a lot of things going through my head. First of all, I'm thinking, this could be a false positive, because the test is probably no good, because it's a test that I've had for months. If the first one showed up in error, this is probably an error too, but it's just saying pregnant. Like, you know, it could have said anything and it would have been an error. Like, I don't know. So then I'm starting to think, like, my heart started racing. I don't know what happened the rest of the day. I didn't tell my husband anything. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't tell anybody anything. I just kept it to myself, because I'm thinking to myself, maybe it was a mistake. So I think that same afternoon, or the next day, no, the same afternoon, I'm lying, I think it was the next day or 2 days, probably 2-3 days. I sat on that for a couple days. I sat on it for a couple days, because I wasn't about to tell anybody anything from my old test that I took, you know, an old test from months ago that I took. Plus, the day that I took the test, I was exactly 3 weeks, like exactly 3 weeks, because you know they counted from your last period, right? So based on my last period, it was exactly 3 weeks. So well, I was exactly 3 weeks pregnant at the time. So I was like, first of all, 3 weeks pregnant, I don't think you can find out so soon, although it's still within time, because it's like you could find out 5 days before with the clear blue test. But then, you know, there's some reviews that say that they get false positives, false negatives. I've never gotten a false positive or false negative before, so I mean, but still, I was just thinking like, maybe it's not right, you know, so let me not say anything. Plus I haven't missed my period yet, so let me just wait it out. So like I said, I didn't tell anybody, not my mom, not my husband, nobody. So fast forward to the day before my period was supposed to come, we went to the Dollar Tree. Mind you, I think the day or 2 days prior, I had already ordered some new clear blue test from Walmart, and it was gonna come, I think it was gonna come 2 days after my period was supposed to come or whatever. So I was like, you know what, whatever, we went to the Dollar Tree. I was like, let me just get some of those cheap tests that the Dollar Tree have, and let me try it out and see what it says, okay? Let me see if it could pick up anything. So I bought like 2 or 3, and as soon as I got home, you know, they say take it in the morning, but that was an afternoon and my period was expected the next day. The afternoon I got home, I couldn't wait, because like I told you guys, I've been keeping this inside the whole time. My mom and my husband told me I'm thinking they're crazy, but the test said positive, but it might be an old test because the first one was an error. So all that's going through my head, and I'm just thinking, okay, let me just take this Dollar Tree one, see what it says. I took it. 2 lines came up, because you know it's the cheap ones, the 2 lines. So the 2 lines came up. I was like, okay, my heart started racing now. It started doing a whole lot of, so I was like, you know what, maybe it's time I tell my husband. But I was like, my period is expected tomorrow, so maybe I should wait till tomorrow and then take it in the morning, because now it's afternoon. Let me take it in the morning. So I ended up telling him, not right away, because we had company. So when everybody left and stuff that night, I ended up telling him. But I think it was a bad time to tell him, because we were arguing about something. We only argue about food, to be honest, but that's the only thing we argue about. But it was probably something to do with food. But regardless, like, we weren't like in a good mood at the time, and I just said it or something like that. And I don't know, I probably said something slick, you know. So the whole house just went quiet. Everybody, well, I shouldn't say everybody, just me and my husband, we just went quiet. And it was so crazy, because we were quiet for a while. He was quiet, I was quiet. I couldn't tell by the look on his face if he was excited or not. Like I said, we were probably arguing about food or some nonsense. And I don't know, it was just so weird, because I'm saying that, but I'm still not 100% sure of myself, although the tests are saying positive, but I'm still not, I don't believe it, okay? And the Dollar Tree test, usually with the Dollar Tree test, I've used one before, and I think you gotta wait exactly like, or a day after your period or something, I don't know. Anyway, that happened. The next morning I took another one of the Dollar Tree tests, because I told you I bought like 3. The next morning I took another one. It said positive. The line came up quick. The next morning I took another one. The line came up mad quick. Then the Walmart one came in, and I took that one because I was like, you know what, that's a clear blue, that's the real deal. It's gonna say pregnant, not pregnant, like I'm gonna know for real. So I took it. Within no time, pregnant. Like, shit, this is real. Like, it's really real. Like, it's like I was in doubt at the same time. I was excited, I was in doubt, I was scared. And the next morning I took another one again, because I bought a 2-pack. So I was like, you know what, I'm taking the next one. I'm taking everything. I'm taking all of them, because I want to be sure. I want to make sure this is right. And I took another one, and it said positive again. So I was like, you know what, by this time I already took like 6 tests on 6 different days, and they all say positive. From a few days before to a few days after, they all say positive. So at this point, it's for real. Like, it's for real, you know. So I was like, you know what, I'm still gonna wait. I told you I was like, in disbelief, in so much disbelief. I was like, you know what, I'll still wait like a week or two before I call the doctor, because you know they say go to the doctor and let them take a test in the hospital. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait like a week or two, then I'm gonna call the doctor. So I waited like a week and a half or something like that. Then I called the doctor to make an appointment, which, you know, they gave me a later appointment. So by the time I got in to like confirm it, I was already like, I think 6 weeks. I think about 6, somewhere there. It was about 6 weeks and a couple days or whatever. So when I went in, my doctor, that's the same one who did the surgery on me for the fibroids, and oh my god, I love this woman. Like, she's really good, she's really patient. She always asks me like a million times before I leave the office, do you have any questions? Like a million times she'll keep asking me, do you have any questions, do you have any questions, do you want to know anything? Like, and she'll explain stuff to me as if I'm a child. And I know some people might find it offensive, but for me personally, I love the fact that she explains things to me like if I'm a child, because there's a lot of terms that the doctors use that, you know, we may not know about, and break it down for me, you know, dumb it down a little bit for me, let me understand what you're saying. So I never asked her to, but you know, like, she always takes her time, explains everything to me, and make sure that I get it and I understand what's going on with my body and with everything, and I really appreciate that. So I love this woman so much. So anyway, I told her like I'm pregnant and stuff like that. So she was like, okay, well, they took your urine, let's just go see for sure, you know, like let's do a little ultrasound. Not an ultrasound, is it an ultrasound they call it when they go in with the stick? I guess it's a vaginal ultrasound, right? I think that's what you call it. I should know better, right? But anyway, she did that, and as soon as she went in like this, you heard boop boop boop, like the heartbeat was like I was so shocked, because I didn't know. Like I told you guys, I've been pregnant twice before, once at 4 weeks, once at 6 weeks. I never had a doctor's appointment. I always miscarried before I even got to my first appointment or the day of my appointment or something like that. So it's like I never got to hear heartbeat. I never got to see anything, like never anything. So this is pretty much like my first pregnancy. I call it my first pregnancy because it's the first one that I'm getting to experience, and it's my first child. So, you know, I don't know how soon you're supposed to hear the heartbeat. I'm not so sure like how soon you know, I'm going through this for the first time, first time experiencing everything. So like I said, as soon as she went in, I just heard this thing, and she was like, oh, the heartbeat is strong, like that's a heartbeat. I was like, really? I got so excited because I was so excited. And the thing is, my husband is not allowed to come in. I don't know what's going on with these hospitals, but a lot of places, I'm in New York, Brooklyn, so a lot of places your partner is not allowed to come in, so you have to go in by yourself. But each and every time he has come to my appointment, not inside the building, but he has been like right there outside, so waiting for me. He has come. He came every single time, so he was right outside waiting for me. So I was like, I was just so excited, because although I took 6 tests, they all said positive, and it started at 3 weeks. When I was 3 weeks, that's when I took the first one, and it said positive. I still was in a little bit of disbelief. So then I told the doctor about like the drink that I took to make me go off. I was like, oh my god, so you know, like this is really real, like the baby is there, I'm pregnant, like would this drink had harmed the baby? Because I was already pregnant when I took it, not knowing, you know, I took it for the constipation, not knowing. So she was like, no, I think, because when I took it I was like 2 weeks something, you know. She was like, probably because you took it earlier and you feel fine, like everything's fine, I'm hearing a heartbeat, like everything's fine, it shouldn't be an issue, you should be fine, you're okay, just don't take it anymore. If you do have constipation, you do continue to get like to be constipated, then what did she say? I don't remember what I did for the rest of my constipation, because I was still constipated. Like, oh yes, prune juice. Prune juice helps so much. Prune juice, original prune juice, like 100% prune juice, that thing worked better than the bottle, trust me. And they said it's easier because it's 100% juice, and you know, it wouldn't harm the baby, and you know, like you wouldn't have any issues or anything like that with the prune juice. So that's what I drank, prune juice. I just remember, and I still have some in the fridge. I bought like a 6-pack and I used to take it whenever I'm constipated and stuff like that. And listen, from that constipation, it led into other things, and that's a different story for another day. And that's pretty much, well, that will go into my whole first trimester and what I experienced and stuff like that. If you guys are interested in hearing about the first trimester and what I experienced for my first time, like, I was just taking it in strides and I was just going with the flow. But just know that doing these videos, like for work videos, it was so hard. It was really hard. It was so hard. Even going on live on Thursdays was so hard for me. So like I said, if you guys want me to get into that, I'll get into that in a different video, because this one is long enough. So that's how I found out I was pregnant at only 3 weeks, because I was constipated and my mom suggested I maybe, like, and I decided to take a test. Knowing me, I can't just keep something like, oh, I can't just bypass something like that. I have to double check, triple check, and I have to, it will just keep bothering me. I don't know if anyone if anybody else is like that, but when stuff like that happen, it keeps bothering me, and I just have to know for sure. So that's how I found out I was pregnant at only 3 weeks. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so as yet, and let me know if you guys want to hear about my first trimester. Also, I think I'm gonna be doing a gender reveal for you guys, because I already know the gender. I couldn't wait. So, but I don't want to just tell you guys, so I might just do like a cute short little something, not even cute, but a short little something for you guys. I'm just thinking about it, so let me know if you want to see that in the comment section down below. Thank you again for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.